What's up, Highland?
What's up?
What's up?
Got myself, Jeff Wynot, Joe Horseman, and our special guest, another one of ours, Ryzn Sautman today. And excited to learn about the real estate business that I've been trying to figure out for years.
Me too. Hopefully we can be a little more understanding after this chat.
I think we will be. Either not, like, we don't need to try to get into the confusing parts of all the layers of real estate.
Well, speaking of layers, though, if you remember when we did mine, I did have a couple people, and Ryan was talking about putting money toward interest rates on extra money toward interest on the house. I did have a couple people comment and said, what was that guy talking about?
You're lying.
I promise. I said, well, we're not going to get back into that. What was that guy talking about? I go,
about the principal?
The interest.
Making sure you're applying it towards the principal. The extra payment. That was.
Well, anyways, maybe we'll get into that today.
Sure.
And hopefully those people watch again.
Let's not, because I didn't verify it.
So they can maybe get some clarity.
Yeah.
But at any rate,
please like our we got this new brand Facebook page. What's Up Highland? The YouTube page. We are getting quite a few ads on there, so keep following us. You can stay up to date with all these episodes that we're doing. Little housekeeping. I did have someone from, the Stewards of Hope International wanted me to let everyone know that they are having a fundraiser, and they're raffling off Sam Laporta plaques. So those are one for $25 or three for $50. There's two plaques that are autographed by Sam Laporta, February 8th. 2025. So they're also going to have a DJ silent bar, but here's the info if anyone would care to make a donation and try getting an autograph piece of memorabilia from Sam Laporta. So just wanted to make sure I included that.
Can we talk about his playoff catch?
Wasn't number one on
top 10.
Yes.
Ryan,
yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was worthy of number one, and it might even be an SB.
Very true.
Bold statement.
Could.
So for those that don't know what an SB is,
play of the year.
That's right.
So
that was one of those ones where I don't know about you guys, but if you're watching something, a sport or something, and you just see something crazy, you tell the whole family to get in.
Oh, we yelled. Jess was in the back room. We're like, "Get in here! You got to see this!"
Yeah,
and we were, it was awesome.
I would have done that whether it was Sam Laporta or not. Like,
right?
Of course we do it for Sam, but I would have done that regardless because that was incredible.
Well, hopefully one day we can have Sam sitting here and telling us how that felt. That's going to be my goal. So I'm putting it out there. Law of attraction. We're going to make a stab at it. So
take a run at it.
I'm putting myself on the pedestal here.
The worst he says is no.
That's right, and I've heard no plenty of times.
Yeah. We won't go down that path. Joe, you got a health or wealth tip for us today.
Wealth tip. We're at the beginning of the year. There's a topic that I feel like can often be overlooked, and that's shopping your home and auto insurance. Very easy to stay with the company that you're with for a long time, but there also are consequences of inaction. And I would really encourage especially with the crazy insurance market right now, go out and get a couple independent quotes, find out where you're at. Sometimes we got to be selfish and take care of our household. And that would be an area that a lot of times you can save some money just by picking up the phone. And Ryan, in your past, you've seen probably people come in and out of when you own the insurance business for that very reason, because people are always looking for where they can save money. So shop your home, shop your auto, see if you can get it bundled. Maybe you can save some money.
Yeah. To piggyback on that, whenever I was in the insurance industry, what I realized, there was a lot of, you always had a lot of people that would say, oh, I've been with so-and-so for so many years, 20 years, whatever. So-and-so don't care. So just so you guys know, you've been with whoever.
Their feelings won't be hurt.
They don't care. If you have two claims in a year, so-and-so that you've been with for 20 years with zero claims is still going to drop you just as fast as what the person that just joined.
You're just a number.
That's all you are.
You're just a number.
It used to not be that.
Right.
With these bigger companies, but it's just not anymore.
No.
So you got to look out for yourself in that.
Home and auto. Shop it. What's up, Highland? Come on.
Yeah. I'm going to stick on the topic of what's up. Instead of a health tip, I'm just going to kind of plug our St. Patty's Day scavenger hunt that's coming up on March 22nd. It's an awesome day where we're going to be at Unwind. I think Brandy's going to do a fantastic job of hosting it this year. And we usually have around 125 to 150 participants, and we donate. We're still trying to find, we thought we had a foundation to give the money to, but so we're kind of looking. So if anybody is in an organization locally that needs money or wants to help with the fundraising aspect of it, we would, shoot me a message and let me know, as we need to find somebody to give all the proceeds to. But we do require that we keep it in Highland.
That's awesome. Good plug. Yeah, give Jeff your suggestions. And for those of you that are on the community page that last year questioned who are all these wild-looking people around town, this is your time. Get out here and sign up. Be a part of the group.
Yeah, last year we donated $3,000, so I would expect that number to probably actually go up, especially if we get the help of an organization. So
yeah, awesome. Jeff does a great job of putting on an event, so it definitely is fun time.
So now let's get into our guest of the show, / host, Mr. Ryzn Sautman.
Wild and crazy guy here.
Yeah.
And
you know me.
So are you I guess you're owner of Ryzn Group, right? Would you call yourself owner?
Yes.
Okay.
What is Ryzn Group? Tell me.
We are a team, the Ryzn Group. We can consist of me, Logan Caribbean, Jonathan McCammon, and then Tiffany Compton is she does some marketing and stuff for us. And then Alyssa Villanueva is my transaction coordinator for us. And so we got 3 agents and then 2 behind the scene ninjas that are doing stuff in the background for clients as well.
Awesome. So me and Joe and I have known Ryan for quite some time, and we've got to really see your entire career unfold, going from an insurance agent for several years and then making the switch to real estate. So, let's just start at the beginning. Is why did you make that switch? Why did you switch from from insurance into real estate?
Yeah. In the beginning, I got into insurance. The first main reason I got into insurance was I always liked sales, and I always liked the idea of sales or being able to set your own income through sales. But I tried some other professions, career, not really, I don't know. It was a very short-lived thing with sales that I wasn't a fan of, just felt kind of dirty. Once I discovered insurance, I was like, yeah, this is a way I can have sales and actually help people at the same time and actually do some good. So I was in insurance for, I think I was close to 10 years into insurance. So I owned the insurance agency for Just For You Insurance for 5 of them. And it started that in 2016. In 2020, I got my real estate license, decided to do both. With insurance was stressful. The fact of, you could cover something as much as you can. But when someone has a claim and if it's not covered, if you sold that product to them and it wasn't covered, I just felt like it, even though it's no insurance carrier in the world would have covered this scenario, I'm still the one that, I'm a people pleaser at the end of the day. So I was the one that sold them the product. Still stressed me out, in those scenarios when those things happen. So there was just a lot of getting that call whenever someone has water in their basement in the middle of the night on a Saturday morning or something. Just always made me nervous every single time, even whether it's covered or not.
Wouldn't farmers cover? Didn't they cover everything?
No.
Isn't that the brand that a I-beam smashes their car and they're like, oh yeah, we've covered that.
Yeah, that's just your work comp. That's just comp.
Okay.
I need to know what your most slimiest tactic was. I'm kidding. Ryan was always stand up. Great guy.
So with that though, the insurance agent themselves didn't make I didn't make as much money per household as what it's just difficult. You got to really kind of build up a really large book. You got to burn and churn through a whole lot of people in order to build that book. And sometimes it was harder to create that relationship because I had to sell this policy and then move on to the next. Some of my big referral partners were real estate agents, and during that time was real estate agents and mortgage lenders. So I got really close to the real estate world of things, and I kind of wanted to start to get into investing as well, into real estate. So I decided to get my insurance or my real estate license, and in 2020 I did both. So, and that was what I liked about that was I could do less transactions, but potentially make the same income. So, but yeah, it's kind of how it all started.
Okay. So who do you serve in the real estate industry?
Yep.
What's your territory?
Yep. So I basically Madison County and St. Clair County. And most of my listings been in Highland, of course. You know, if you're looking at a geographical area, like most of my work's been in Highland, but the highest percentage has been in Highland anyways. But Madison, St. Clair, I've listed all the way out in Columbia, and actually just listed a house out in Columbia, Illinois, just last year. So in 2024, but that's kind of
predominantly pretty local.
Pretty local surrounding area.
Why do people need a real estate agent? Tell me.
Well, Joe, I was going to ask you that question. You
might be
you test drove the non-real estate agent route.
Did.
And what's your suggestion? Would you recommend that somebody does that?
Yeah, I made sure I was a do-it-yourselfer, which there's nothing wrong with that. You know, even in my industry, the ones that want to go out and do their own personal investing, that's great. I think you should if you have the comfort level. So I took the do-it-yourself approach. Think we came out where we wanted to. Was it worth the time, the stress? No. On the backside, I look back at what we put in our pocket. Probably could have put the same amount in our pocket and turned over all of the stuff, all the effort that we put into over to a professional. Maybe could have got more. Don't know that. But very, very humbling for a guy that wants to, figure out how he can do things on his own and not outsource, which I've come a long way on. But that is an area that I encourage anyone that's, out there looking to, maybe get around the commission costs or whatever to at least interview. Ryan does first of all, Ryan is a very personable guy. He keeps things light. So, just in that alone, I think you have an interview with Ryan, you're going to find out that he could be a good resource, but save your time. That's my opinion. This is a guy that if I can save $1, I'm going to do it. And, wasn't worth my time. I go back, I'd hire Ryan in a heartbeat.
Appreciate that. Talking about that, I come from the perspective of just educate as much as possible. And if someone wanted to go with me and wanted to list instead, they wanted to go do their own for sale by owner thing, or they wanted to list with me, like I'm just going to lay out all the information. And I'm a nerd when it comes to that kind of information, and let them make their own decision at that point.
Is there anything?
I try to do that in every aspect of the transaction. Is
there anything that makes you different or separates you from other people in the industry?
I think that aspect, there's a hot topic going on right now that I would love to at some point dive into today.
Dive in.
With the amount of transactions that I do, like that's some of the things that the variable of like how to list your house as a for sale by owner. Everybody knows the market is hot, but how do you get that top dollar for the hot market? Everybody's going to sell their house. Like anybody can list their house and sell it in this market, but it's what the margins are. So what makes me indifferent is from the next is just the passion and care that kind of goes into it. And probably everybody's going to say that, but I really like to analyze every single little piece of, this is a new thing that I've been starting to tell everybody is, you got this puzzle here, and this puzzle is the sale. And every one of these pieces are a different aspect of the puzzle. So that being said, like one of the here, and this is that hot topic right now, is commissions. So as you guys know, there's this thing that's going on that's happened. I know you guys are familiar with it, but if the consumers are not, July there was an AR lawsuit where we are no longer allowed to. It's just sellers don't have to pay commissions to buyers agents they never really had to in the first place. Every time they go to sign something for a listing agreement, there was 2 individual spots, one for the listing agents commissions, one for the buyer's agents commissions. Now that this has happened, this lawsuit, everybody is attempting to not pay buyer's agents commissions. And if you want to go down that rabbit hole, you definitely can. But the way I advise is, once again, through the education aspect of, okay, if you do this, this is your options. If you do this, this is your other options. So what I've been telling everybody, if let's just say Joe, for example, if Joe said that I don't want to pay any buyer's agents commissions, you're going to have multiple. If you're interviewing listing agents, there are agents out here that will tell them not to pay the buyers. They'll give a really low listing commission and not to pay the buyer's agent commission at all. Just not at all. So you run into some scenarios there where you could potentially put yourself at not the best opportunity whenever you just are straight up saying that you're not going to pay for a buyer's agent's commissions.
What do you mean by that? When you say
this is where the whole insurance process or real estate process gets confusing, is all this, like, I guess, does everybody know that these things even exist, or do a lot of people go in blind, like don't even know about this option that they could not pay?
Disclosure is what we're talking about. Like they would just plug in the numbers and people assumed we've got to pay 5 or 6%.
I don't have an out on that.
I agree. So there's a whole lot, and now that since that's happened, there is a whole lot more transparency with it, which is, I think, is a really
should be, and that's that's in a lot of industries. But I want to go back to, like you say, if someone's not going to pay a buyer's agent, why that puts them at a disadvantage? Do people not represent the other side?
It's a great question.
Thank you. Okay,
and I'm about to go down that.
Great.
Okay, so this is why I do not trust. One, if I'm representing Jeff here, I want to keep as many pieces of this puzzle of the sale here in our court. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Like, we want that in our court. So here's this buyer's agent's commissions. In the reality, about most people that are walking through your house, Jeff, are going to be represented by an agent. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed at this point. So by you saying, I usually just leave it up like, hey, just say, Jeff, that you're willing to pay a buyer's agent's commissions. And that's it. That's all I'm asking you to do.
I'll pay a buyer's agent.
Okay, so yes, you will. Okay, so let's say you don't, though.
I'd like more info.
So this little, let's just say
before I commit.
This little puzzle piece right here of this whole piece, I'm going to throw that over there. And by you saying that you don't want to pay a buyer's agent's commission, this is now out of our hands. That piece right there is completely out of my hands to help you.
What is this piece?
That's the buyer's agent's commission, which is going to be a part of a deal, a transaction.
Are you saying they won't come to the table? A realtor won't bring their client to the table because they're not getting compensated?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the buyer has the choice. Do they want your house that is listed for $300,000? Their realtor and them have now already signed a buyer's agreement saying that this agent gets 2.5% regardless.
I mean, aren't they just going to change the price of the house?
Good.
Well, if you're not going to pay it, well, it's going to be $310,000 instead of $300,000, and it's a wash at the end of the day.
It could be. So this is my point. If you automatically say, "Hey, I'm not paying commissions," they submit an offer over. They're asking for you to pay this buyer's agent's commissions, and you say, "Nope, not doing it." So we're going to give this piece of this puzzle back to them and say, "Hey, we're not paying buyer's agent's commissions." That's all there is to it.
It just seems like it'd be just another way to get to the same price.
It could be, or they could just say, "Hey, you know what? We don't know the conversations that they're having over there.
Yeah,
this is a puzzle piece that I want to keep in our possession, and we can now negotiate and have an open conversation instead of just saying, nope, not doing it." And then they could just say, "You know what? Like, if they're not paying that buyer, not the agent, none of the agents, I'm saying the buyer has the right to say, maybe I don't want to mess with this house. I'd rather have your commissions, my buyer's agent's commissions worked in. We'll just go find the next house."
Wouldn't it be easier just to set one commission price and let you and the other realtor agree? Like, it seems like it's more confusing than what it should be. Like, why couldn't it just be a flat 5% and then you and the other realtor agree on what the fair commission is split.
That's what the lawsuit was for, because of that exact.
Couldn't do that.
Couldn't do that.
There's two. You can't collude on that side.
Well, my point is, if it's a flat charge, then it's irrelevant what side gets what.
Yeah.
Because some people would say, well, all you did was open the door to the house,
But that's where
let
you
me
can't
in.
do the flat charge, because what if another realtor says, "I'll just do this whole thing for 3%,"
Yeah.
or wants to go low and gets low, then he can't. He's going to get blackballed in the market.
layers.
There is.
Welcome to the real estate
But
world.
it just seems like it's all going to end up at the same place. Like if the seller wants to get 300,000 and you don't want to pay commissions, okay, well then the price and you negotiate. It's like, well, now the price goes up to 306.
It could.
So it's just another way to negotiate. It's just all it seems like
in this market. Let's say there's 5 interested buyers that are ready to put an offer in. 3 of them don't want to pay buyer's agent's commission, their own buyer's agent's commissions, and they want to work it in. Well, we just knocked out 3 buyers that aren't willing to pay it. So now you're only down to 2. Now, Jeff, let me ask you this: if you have 2 competing offers versus 5 competing offers, what do you think you're going to end up winning most on? Whenever there's 5 offers and you're willing to pay commissions, or only 2 offers, or maybe only 1 offer.
yeah. I mean, obviously you want the 5.
You want the 5.
Yeah.
So that's
As many people in the game as possible. To,
exactly right.
Potentially drive the price up.
And that's where I'm, as a listing agent, I am confident in being able to negotiate for you and work for you. I want to keep this puzzle piece in the puzzle. It's so I can have control of it and work for you.
So you can drive, 5
as
people,
much
we
as
can drive the price up and we'll take care of that fee anyways.
I think
You'll
it's
more than cover that fee.
right.
Versus just turning people away right off the bat. It's like, no, let's keep them in the game, but let's get more people in the game, drive the price up even higher than.
And not just
would.
price. You're talking about maybe waiving in certain inspections, maybe not all inspections, some inspections, all inspections, cash offers.
Yeah, all those other things that could get.
All those other ancillary things that are sweeten the pot.
So are you more on the seller side then? You like to
I'm really
list
passionate.
houses?
I do. I think I'm very. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm very. I really, really like the listing side. I like really trying the negotiating aspect. All this aspect here is it's my high whenever I'm in the middle of the deal and trying to get everything I can for my sellers. Like I absolutely love that, and really like the same for the buyers. I do enjoy the buyers too. My business does predominantly it's a small difference, but I do list more than I have on buyer sides. But that negotiating piece, when we're trying to get under contract, that is my absolute favorite, hour of time that I spend going back and forth and all that stuff with everybody.
So the thing that makes a lot of people squirm, you like to do.
I
hate negotiations.
I absolutely love it.
I hate it.
That's why I'm going to keep the vehicle I've got until the wheels fall off, because I do not even want to be sitting in front of that scenario where I'm like,
I'd rather have a car that doesn't run than have to go negotiate for a new one.
Getting me.
Those negotiations are horrible.
Just feel like I'm getting one over on me. Just
don't want to be sold.
And I'm not saying anything about the car business, but it's brutal.
The tactic of them holding on to
But
your
not
keys
just them, but any environment where you're like, am I winning here?
Yeah.
Am I winning?
Did I lose?
Yeah.
Am I going to go tell my friends and they're going to be like, you got ripped off, dude?
Probably.
I was $5,000 less over there.
Idiot.
Yeah.
But you know how you never lose, Joe? You never look at another price ever again. Never look at a comp. You just roll with it.
Well,
and never ask a friend what they paid.
That kind of goes back. You remember when we talked to, or I don't know if either one of you guys, but we were talking with Scott Plocker, who's actually going to be coming on here in a few weeks. But we were talking about a piece of property in town that, it was like, how do we get to a point where we decide if what they're asking for is too much? And his reply was, does it fit in your business plan? It had nothing to do with whether it was overpriced, underpriced. Does it fit in your business plan? And it was like, what a great answer. So
yeah, for commercial for sure.
For commercial, that's what I always tell you.
But like even going back to like the home and the car, like we were talking about, like if it you're right, don't look, just does it fit what I'm wanting to do, and don't talk to anyone.
Does it fit your lifestyle? Is it and if it's a forever home, then like what it's going to go into, the value of it's literally useless.
Yeah.
If I'm going to live there forever, who gives a shit what the price goes up to?
Well, we lost net worth when we moved and built our house just recently, because we just updated our net worth statement. I'm like, where did things go down a little bit? And it was because of what we moved from, and I had all this equity into it and had less equity into the house we built. But again, that's the forever, and that's going to, flip flop as we keep going. But it was kind of like, it's just did I make a bad business decision?
Just a number.
I got a happy wife at home. So, but anyway, back to
Nope.
Sure do. That girl's had a smile on her face for 5 months.
That's Ryan's selling point.
Man,
hey man, you just want to make your wife happy, so you should probably do this deal.
Yes,
Right.
and do it through me.
Yeah.
Ryan, speaking of, how do people find you? Because you look around town, you see Equity 55, and I don't know what are some of the other Remax or whatever. How do people find Ryzn Group?
Google, just
Google
like everybody else does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever stopped and got a number off of any sign I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I guess maybe I Google them, but
Just the fact that we could roll them off of our head right here, just making sure that people aren't missing out on the Ryzn experience.
Look for me. I'm out in
Ryzn
network.
experience. Did we just come up with the tagline here?
the Ryzn experience.
Yeah, I'm out there.
So is there any other big reasons why you're so passionate about the real estate industry, other than you love being in the negotiations, you love being able to serve your customers? Is there anything else that we're missing? Because that's, as we do this is my big goal, is to really dig in more and find out who we really are, who all these business owners are in town, and why they do what they do. I'm a big believer people want to do business with people, and not just companies. So the more we know about the individual, the better. And so that's why I'm asking this, to try to get all the details of what makes you burn and what makes you excited to do this, and make sure we're not leaving any important pieces out that people would appreciate.
Yeah. The aspect, this is just like as important as health is, as important as being a financial advisor is, the wealth building. This is one of our biggest transactions that we do a handful of times an entire lifetime. Unless you're military, then that's like, 6 months, let's go. So it's not something to be taken lightly, and to get a $20,000 plus check at the end of closing for a seller, or to be able to, for a buyer to be able to walk in the house and own a house for not a lot down, and be able to achieve that American dream of home ownership. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to be a part of. I take that very seriously, and just like an insurance, if you guys ever had from 4 or 5 years ago at this point now, but if you guys ever got an insurance quote from me, you guys probably got a quote video that went through all the details, and
That's what got me.
And I took it very seriously. Anything, I take this transaction very seriously. So for me, there is, in this industry, in this real estate industry, the bar of entry to be an agent is extremely low. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But so I think it is, but there's a lot of doctor's degree level education out there that are real estate agents. So through the experience, they become a high level of caliber of just quality. And that's something that selling a house for someone, one of their biggest transactions, I just can't imagine half-heartedly throwing pictures with my iPhone 8 up on, and thinking I can sell their house, and not providing that level of service. So,
okay. One more question. So I have two kind of moments that with each client's journey, or, part of working here, that have nothing to do with growing the business or anything like that. But the moments when I see our customers just hanging out in between groups, and they're all interacting with each other, and knowing that I brought those people together, to me, that's one of the most special parts of the day. And / whenever I sign somebody up that I know was never going to find comfort in any other gym, and knowing that okay, they found their place, that's you can't even monetize what that does. Mm. Do you have any moments like that when you sell a house that's okay, when this happens,
yeah,
I get this feeling that's irreplaceable?
That's for sure. when you're walking through a house and you're trying to find something, a lot of times they get that. I tell everybody, like, you'll know when you're like walking through, you're trying to find your house as a buyer's agent. The feel goods really come a lot from that buyer's side. There is that more of that feely good when they find their house and they're emotional because they know that this is it. That gives you like a irreplaceable feeling. Sometimes the friendships afterwards, like I've some of my favorite clients, we've got together brought my family out and we've had ice cream whenever it was actually during COVID. Lori Theater was having their ice cream out there and we went and had ice cream across went and got Lori Theater ice cream and had ice cream at that little bench at the post office. And so stuff like that. Another one that is really, it is not a fun situation, but it is a really tough one to navigate, is divorce. The divorce situations. Those are really, really tough, just from both sides. I try my best, and I do everything I can to make both sides feel like they are, like everything that this one does is just as important as what this one does. And a lot of times people think that, hey, this one's trying to take advantage of me, and they just feel like they're just taking advantage. And the reality is everything has to be done 50-50. Those are difficult situations to navigate that aren't a joyous event, but is a difficult situation that coming with compassion, like to get across that finish line and sometimes it's not getting across this finish line. Sometimes it's, for me anyways, sometimes getting a commission check is not getting across that finish line. It is discovering every possibility, whether it is, can this one buy this one out? Can this one do, whatever scenario, can this house just be rented or someone buy it out and be rented? All those scenarios are stuff that's at play that I like to try to educate on and see and just explore all those opportunities.
That's awesome. So, to me, like I said, that's what makes, a business owner. Those are the details that separate you from, other people that maybe don't even have any of those feelings. The only thing they're worried about is the sale.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
One more one that I really enjoy a lot is selling either dad or mom's house. If there's 4 siblings and there's someone's out of state, they're just kind of spread out and it's hard. I really enjoy helping them. They got a lot on their plate, with taking care of the stuff that, whether they went to the nursing home or a different home, there's just a lot going on for the siblings, and trying to bring that piece through that aspect. It's just one less piece that they have going on that I can help eliminate and makes them feel like they don't have to have all hands on deck for that aspect of handling the house. So, yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, again, I think every business owner has the ability to have know that they have impact on people's lives. And, those are the people that I just prefer to do business with, that are really, have a passion and have a real why as to what they're doing. And, it sounds like, it's more than just selling a home. It's, really, how do I help these, certain groups of people do something that's really hard and keep everybody together, which I can imagine could be really challenging.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
I had one of my favorites. I absolutely love her. And she's one that is always shouting to the rooftops for me. I showed her a house that she wasn't able to get. I initially showed her houses at like $80,000 and she couldn't get qualified for. Was then able to later, like a year down the road, was able to get qualified and was able to buy a $150,000 house. And it was at an older age, was the first house that she's ever bought. And that was just one of those feelings like, oh my gosh, that closing day felt so good. And she's just an absolutely amazing person. That's the thing, when like people are just so good at heart, and you get to go to the closing table and you get to really help them get something that they might not have ever been able to achieve prior. That's just an amazing feeling.
Good feeling.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. Well, Joe, do you got anything else for Ryan?
No. We are going to put Ryan's phone number in the comments for anyone that he might have sold an insurance policy to 5-6 years ago. That way you can track him down. And
hey, I've been telling everybody.
Need that claim.
That's funny. I've been telling everybody in those situations that transition did not happen like I wanted it to happen, for sure. I told any of the old previous clients, just call me directly, and
I will happily sell you a house.
I will. I will help. I will. All right, that's
Your
just what-
premiums are 3 times what they. How about? Are you in the house market? Can I help you?
So, well, Ryan, that was awesome. Great to
Yeah.
hear what you do, why you do it, and we'll also put the link to your website in the comments
Appreciate
too.
it.
So,
Appreciate it.
Yeah, glad
Looking
to
to buy
have
or
you on
sell.
team for sure.
Thanks, guys. not getting across the finish line. Sometimes it's for me anyways, sometimes getting a commission check is not getting across that finish line. It is discovering every possibility, whether it is, can this one buy this one out? Can this one do, whatever scenario? Can this house just be rented, or someone buy it out and be rented? All those scenarios are stuff that's at play that I like to try to educate on and see and just explore all those opportunities.
That's awesome. So, to me, like I said, that's what makes, a business owner. Those are the details that separate you from, other people that maybe don't even have any of those feelings. The only thing they're worried about is the sale.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
One more one that I really enjoy a lot is selling either dad or mom's house. If there's 4 siblings and there's someone's out of state, they're just kind of spread out and it's hard. I really enjoy helping them. They got a lot on their plate, with taking care of the stuff that, whether they went to the nursing home or a different home, there's just a lot going on for the siblings, and trying to bring that piece through that aspect. It's just one less piece that they have going on that I can help eliminate and makes them feel like they don't have to have all hands on deck for that aspect of handling the house. So, yeah,
that's good. I mean, again, I think every business owner has the ability to have know that they have impact on people's lives, and those are the people that I just prefer to do business with, that are really have a passion and have a real why as to what they're doing. And it sounds like it's more than just selling a home. It's how do I help these certain groups of people do something that's really hard and keep everybody together, which I can imagine could be really challenging.
Yeah.
So.
I had one of my favorites. I absolutely love her, and she's one that is always shouting to the rooftops for me. I showed her a house that she wasn't able to get. I initially showed her houses at like $80,000, and she couldn't get qualified for. Was then able to later, like a year down the road, was able to get qualified and was able to buy a $150,000 house, and it was at an older age, was the first house that she's ever bought, and that was just one of those feelings like, oh my gosh, that closing day felt so good, and she's just an absolutely amazing person. That's the thing, when like people are just so good at heart, and you get to go to the closing table and you get to really help them get something that they might not have ever been able to achieve prior. That's just an amazing feeling.
Good feeling.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah. Well, Joe, do you got anything else for Ryan?
No. We are going to put Ryan's phone number in the comments for anyone that he might have sold an insurance policy to 5-6 years ago. That way you can track him down. And
hey, I've been telling everybody.
Need that claim.
That's funny. I've been telling everybody in those situations that transition did not happen like I wanted it to happen, for sure. I told any of the old previous clients, just call me directly, and
I will happily sell you a house.
I will help. All right, that's
your premiums are 3 times what they. How about, are you in the house market? Can I help you?
So, well, Ryan, that was awesome. Great to hear what you do, why you do it, and we'll also put the link to your website in the comments too. So
appreciate it.
Yeah, glad to have you on the team for sure.
Thanks, guys.
All right.